Welcome to your mindful movement session with me, Nisha. I'm going to be taking you through just some really gentle movements. It's more about how we're practicing, more about creating a self-awareness and dialogue with our body, and just showing up to check in and see how we're doing for that day, not just physically in areas of tightness, discomfort, and the body, but actually how we're doing as a complete being, mind, heart, emotion, mental. So let's just get started, and I invite you to engage with yourself in a way which is curious as opposed to judgmental, and a bit open and available to experiencing your body in a new way. So let's start in a comfortable seated position, and you can just sit how you normally sit for today. And this could be cross-legged, or you might feel more comfortable sitting like this in what we call hero's pose, or you can use a cushion and tuck this underneath. And I do this quite often to elevate my hips off the ground. It just relieves any pressure and tension, especially if we're sitting in a chair a lot and we're sitting upright like this so often, that it's nice to just create a bit of an opening. Okay, so let's start by getting stuck in. Okay, you're going to use your hands. You're going to feel the flesh underneath your cheeks and just pull them away a little bit so that you can feel your seated bones, your two bones underneath, just resting a little bit more. You feel a bit more grounded. And just closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in, sharp exhale out, and just allowing your breath to draw your legs down into the earth. We can tend to hold tension around the groin, the inner thighs, the back of the knees, even the ankles. So I invite you to just engage with these areas. Let's start with the inner groin. Can you find your inner groin softening a little bit more? How about your inner thighs? The backs of the knees relaxing. Now feel the connection between your foot. Let's go with your left foot and the ground. Which part of your left foot is connected with the earth? And followed by your right foot. So just notice, becoming aware of the connection between your right foot and the ground. Just imagining as though you're sitting under a tree and there's like a cocoon just made for your seat, made just for you, just nesting you and holding you, supporting you. And underneath you can feel yourself being drawn down into the core of the earth, a real nourishing, comforting, natural pull into the earth. As your seat softens, you feel your legs getting heavier. This idea of rooting, yet a rise through the spine, just like the trunk of a tree. And right at the tip of the tree, the sun pours down into the center, drawing you upwards to the sky. And this pulling effect, yet this drawing down effect. And as you draw yourself upwards, you find your waist lengthening from hips all the way up into the armpits, as you find your armpits The shoulders become just like the branches of a tree, drawing you down and away, heavy in your elbows, relaxed in the palms of the hand. Softening all 10 fingers. Feeling the sensations in the cusp of the hands. Softening the facial muscles, allowing the tongue to relax in the back of the throat. The mind softens and the eyeballs relax in its sockets. You sink down into your breath and you sit within that space. Just witnessing, as an external observer, just witnessing any sensations that arise in the body, any experiences in the mind, in the heart, in your being, in your breath. Whatever's happened up until this point, any experience you've had leading to this exact moment, exists right there. And anything that is yet to come after your movement practice exists right there in the future. Just making that choice to be right here in the moment. There's nothing to do, nowhere to be, but to engage with your practice. And connecting with this rising sensation once more as you inhale and exhale, release everything out of the chest. Audible sigh out. Take a deep breath in and a nice big audible sigh out. Rising through the crown, bringing the chin down towards the chest. So find length in the back of the neck. Allow the shoulders to draw away from the ears. Once again, softening the legs. And just finding your chin meeting your chest. Feeling the back of the neck, maybe the shoulders. And we're all different here, right? So your experience of whatever is happening up until this point in this practice is yours to own. But the key thing is just observing and noticing what happens as we guide you through. And slowly drawing your eyes open softly and calmly, engaging the world inwards. Just noticing, keeping your eyeballs still and focused. And if you have a cushion underneath, you can draw that cushion away, bringing it out to the side. Feel free to adjust your position if you wish. So I'm sitting now in hero's pose. Otherwise you can change. If you need to come out of this, you can go into a cross-legged pose. And take an inhale, lengthen the arms. Just find length all the way through the middle finger. And exhale, lengthening through, interlocking the fingers. Okay? And bringing your chin down towards your chest. So draw your chin down towards your chest. Roll your shoulders away from your ears so your biceps are moving outwards. Draw the navel back. Keep that breath flowing, nice and easy. Shoulder blades coming down. Feel like as though they're melting down your back. And then inhale, reversing the palms as you draw your body up. And lengthen through both sides of the waist. Keep breathing. Press the thumbs upwards and the little fingers towards you. And feel yourself softening into your seat a bit more. So you want to feel a bit more relaxed into your seat. But lengthening through the arms. And inhale. And then exhale, reverse the palms, coming down through the center. Chin towards your chest. Rounding out your back. And then inhale, coming through, this time drawing the elbows back behind you, open up the chest, and exhale, let's find our breath and motion through this now. So inhale, coming up, pressing through the palms, lengthen. Breathing in through the nose, and exhale, reverse, palms towards you, rounding. Keep flowing through at your own pace. Feel that breath running up and down the body, into your chest, and exhale. And releasing the hands, pressing into the ground. So a big part of your practice is to feel the ground and feel the earth. It helps us to disconnect from our minds and whatever's going on in our lives. So at times of overwhelm, anxiety, when there's a dialogue that we're having with ourselves that we can't seem to get away from, a good thing is to feel the ground. Yeah, so the yoga practice allows us to do that. It gives us a space to do that. Feeling the ground. Let's press into all 5 fingers and the palm of the hand. So really pressing in. Okay, line up the wrist with the hip. Soften the shoulder, melt the shoulder down. Then inhale, coming all the way through the arm, pushing into the middle finger. You're going to find it easier to mirror me, okay? So it will be your right hand down and your left hand up, and lengthen through. Press into your left back. Notice that feeling of pressing into the foot. What does that feel like? And lengthen through the middle finger, and then bending over to the side. Keep drawing the elbow back. Keep pushing into the opposite hip and reducing the lower shoulder away from your ear. Drawing through the middle finger and breathing in. And exhale, pushing off the ground, feeling the mat underneath all 5 fingers. Lengthen the right hand now. Going through the middle finger, draw the left shoulder away from the ear, pressing into the right hip. Lengthen all the way past the waist. And exhale, folding at the elbow. Draw the right elbow back. And soft down. And inhale. And exhale. Just feeling all the different sensations running through. And inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Coming back over to the other side, pressing into the ground. This time we're going to articulate the shoulder forward. And our torso is parallel with the ground, and drawing the little finger down to the earth. And then we're going to press and come back up. This time gazing past your elbow, and exhale, fold, lengthen over, and inhale, and exhaling. Swish through, feel the floor underneath you, over to the other side, and draw that arm back up, and exhale, folding, and lean forward, lengthen with your spine and the side of your waist. Open up the chest, and exhale, lengthen, drawing the finger down, and inhale. So all of this is coming and leading from my shoulder, but it's my torso, the whole of my torso, that is curving forward. And exhale. And drawing yourself back to the center, chin towards your chest, shoulder roll back. Just some gentle shoulder rolls backwards. Just finding what feels right for us today. So we show up differently every day when we wake up. And it's about just observing your starting point and gently shifting through what's not going to serve purpose for you for the day. And it's okay to not be okay, but it's more about empowering ourselves through some self-inquiry, through some sensation, through movement, through breath, through practices like these, journaling, which help us to understand ourselves better. So let's roll through into a cat position. So placing your wrists directly underneath your shoulder joint. Add out the hands again. Let's lift the left hand feel that connection with the earth, the base of the palm, rolling through the palm, pressing through all parts of the finger into the whites of the fingertips. Let's lift intentionally the right hand, placing it down. Find the base and roll through the palm of the hand, pressing through all 5 fingers, reaching the fingertips. You want to find a sense of feeling strong in this position, feeling like you have your limbs intact. So with the legs, having your knees directly underneath your hips. Now imagine you're squeezing a block in between, or a ball, okay? So you're going to keep switched on. The reason why is because we're going to start to move through the body. But as we move through, we don't want to collapse. This is an exaggeration, but we don't want to be collapsing through it. So we can tend to rock through the movement and we lose the quality. This is all about mindfully working and understanding how our bodies connect, how different parts of our bodies connect. So let's find our middle toe in line with our heel, in line with our knees, and our hips directly over your knees. And let's find our hands rooted and rolling into the ground. Let's take an inhale and exhale to prepare, and then inhaling and exhale, chin towards your chest, your hips come forward, keep breathing. Your belly button draws back towards your spine. You want to feel as though your belly button's drawing back and upwards towards your chest. Press in your middle back, and then press into your little fingers and find your biceps rolling away. So you feel as though you're opening up and spreading your shoulder blades wide. And then inhale, squeeze your thighs in between, press into the ground. And then inhale, opening up the chest. The shoulder blades come together. Keep breathing. Feel your seated bones, so where you were sitting before, feel them pushing upwards and spreading wide. So you feel as though your hips are coming apart. Press into the ground. Feel the front of the belly button drawing down and up towards your chest. So down, pressing down, and sliding up your chest towards your sternum, in between your breastbone. And exhale, rounding, squeeze. So we're looking for stability, a strong foundation. And inhale, pushing the ground away, rolling through the spine. And exhale, push the floor away. And inhale. Now keep going, and I invite you to find each movement rolling through each vertebrae of your spine. So can you sense the movement, all the tiny little movements that are making this happen? Can you sense your hands against the earth? Can you feel that? Can you feel the inner thigh squeezing, your glutes, your bum muscles working? And keep rolling through. And your mind, where's your mind at? Are you still here? Do we need to gently draw your attention back into all these different experiences and experiencing yourself? And just notice what kind of thoughts, if thoughts do arise, keep moving. If thoughts do arise, just notice, use it as information so that you are aware of the kind of dialogue that is taking place within yourself. And that's something that we can learn from. And keep going through. And slowly release, coming onto your heels, pressing your hips onto your heels, spreading your fingers wide, and keep pressing downwards. Keep your neck long, so your neck's not touching the mat at this point. You're lengthening past your elbows, rolling your shoulders away, pressing hips into your heels, and keep that breath flowing. Keep the eyes and the mind soft. And then slowly relax, bringing the arms down by the side of the body, releasing the shoulders into the ground. And find this connection, this sweet, sweet connection between your forehead, your brain, the contents of your brain, and the earth.
You are held and supported by the earth, and this beautiful healing ability of the earth. So allow yourself to draw this feeling of nutrients and minerals running into your brain, the place that doesn't judge you. And then also release whatever is going on within your brain, any tightness or sensations, any noise, even stillness. Allow the stillness to connect. And slowly bringing your hands forward, coming back into a flat cat. Tuck your toes under and into a be sort of wide enough so that you can feel that there's enough room to maneuver. So if you were to move forward, you're not kind of here. You want to find length in the back of your legs in a plank position. So this is the kind of space you want to aim for, with your feet hip width apart. Now, with the heels, often, maybe people get a bit thrown that the heels need to meet the mat, but they don't. The intention is to. Now let's draw the left foot down and bend the right knee, and then let's switch over. The left knee is bent and the right leg is straight. And then let's cycle through. So just toe to heel, feeling that space. Come down anytime if it's too much for today. Okay, so this is our body weight. We are actually engaging with our body weight, and this could be new for a lot of us. So that's okay. Come out of it, and if you feel ready, come back up and just gently releasing. And then come into a static position, press into little fingers and draw your body upwards. So you want your seated bones to rise. Option to bend the knees. You can bend the knees and lift up still with your seated bones. Allow your hips to spread wide once again, and drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, pressing into the little fingers. And allow your belly button to come back into your spine and your shoulder blades to draw away. So if you feel like you're puffing out your chest, reduce your chest into your back and slide further away into your hips. And breathe. Big sigh out the mouth. Inhale. And exhale. Take a walk to the front of the mat. Slowly. There we are. Relaxing the wrists. You can give some wrist movements here just by fisting the hands and rotating the wrists from side to side, round and round. Just some freestyle movement, maybe treading into the toes, bending the knees, just finding your hips. And then we're going to lean our body weight forward. Again, feel free to bend your knees as much as you feel is comfortable, but you want to feel that your hamstrings being stretched, okay? We don't want to overstretch or do something that's going to cause discomfort, but we want to still be challenging ourselves and meeting our edge. So shift into your toes so you're slightly off your heels, and allow your body to hang. Now, press into your toes, your big toes, and find the back of your hamstring. So as you press into your big toes, you want to feel as though the back of your hamstrings are drawing up towards your seated bones. So you're squeezing your legs, the inside of the leg, and the back part of the leg is drawing up. And you find your hips. When you find your hips, draw and roll the hips forward. So you find greater length in the spine, and hang there for a sec. Relax the head. Yes, just feeling the sensations of no and the power of saying no, and also the power of saying yes, and indicating to ourselves and reminding ourselves that both serve a purpose. Good. And slowly drawing your chin towards your chest, squeeze the inner thighs. The hips start to come forward as the front of your body presses into your back. The last thing to come up will be your head. So bring your chin towards your chest. The last thing to come up is your head. And then slowly pressing into your feet, drawing your shoulders forward, coming back down. A slight micro bend, coming all the way down. Brilliant. Now soften the knees, pressing your hands down and coming back into a child pose for a moment and bringing the arms down by the side and letting the head release into the ground. Let's do something on our backs. So let's just do a gentle movement on the back and slowly drawing the body down onto the mat, and find your feet touching hip width at least or wider. The knees to come together and the feet to fall out wide. It allows the spread of the lower back. So this is a great way of really relaxing the digestive system, for any bloating, any cramps, any lower back pains. Massive favorite of mine, this one here. Okay, and drawing the arms out and take a deep breath into the whole of the lower belly. And an exhale. And drawing the knees, knocking the knees over towards the left. So the width stays the same, but the knees just knock over. And then drawing the knees back into the center. We're moving through this and over to the other side. You can drop your head towards the left as your knee goes to the right. And back through the center, keeping your feet kind of where they are, but allowing them to go over to the sides and the blades of the feet. And just wiping back through, and then exhale over to the right. The head comes towards the left. Now you have the option of placing the outside of your right foot onto the outer edge of your left thigh. And this helps to kind of intensify the movement a little bit more, but press down and away. So just imagine that you're kicking a football with the side of your drawing down and away. And then draw the left shoulder into the ground and your left hip. So you're aiming your left hip to be into the ground. It may not meet the ground at all, as you can see. And then release the leg back to where it was, to the outside edge of the mat, back to the center. Let's do the same on the opposite side. And pressing the foot down and away as though you're kicking a football with the side of the foot. Keep rooting the right shoulder down. And then inhale, coming back up. And then interlocking the fingers around the shins. So begin rolling from side to side. Bring the shoulders down to the floor. Massaging the back gently. Maybe some circles and the other direction. Just finding any areas that you feel you want to press into the ground. And slowly rolling over to the side. And drawing yourself back up into a seated position.